All right, Under Seasoned special edition. I've got a very special pitmaster here with us today, Luke Moonshine.
Thank you for having me.
Fucking welcome, bro. It's
Thank
really
you.
good to see you, mate.
Yep. Nah, happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Righto, talk a bit of shit about yourself, mate.
Well, as you heard, I'm Luke Moonshine. I own Phat Boyz Smokehouse and Kitchen. Started barbecuing in 2015. I think my wife bought me my first smoker. 2014, 2015 started smoking. 2017 we kicked it off into a business. 2019 we kicked it off to a retail store, and 2021 we kicked off our smokehouse, Phat Boyz Smokehouse in Wollongong, Queensland, and since then it's been a wild ride. We've done a lot, we've travelled a lot, we've jumped on the Meatstock wagon, and we've been having an amazing ride with them guys there, since 2022, being back from COVID, and we have not looked back. So it's just all systems go.
So it's the proverbial snowball rolling down the hill, mate, that you have no hope or chance of stopping.
Yeah, well, addictions are real, aren't they? Mine's addicted to barbecue. So
Fuck yeah, bro. I love it. One thing I can definitely say by knowing you personally is your passion really transcends through the way you present yourself with your craft. And stoked to have you here, bro. So let's hook in.
Yeah, cheers.
This is my favourite segment. We got the fuck up of the week. This is where we sort of show something that we can laugh about it because it's not us.
Yep.
And let
Bring
me
it
know
on.
what you
Let's
think
go.
of this.
Yeah.
He knows what I felt like. I feel like someone would need to get a fire extinguisher. That would help when I'm hard. Yeah.
Oh shit. He's like, stay back, buddy, stay back. Dad's about to fuck some shit up. Let's go.
Well, the funny thing I find about this is the fire's already humming, bro. He doesn't need that fucking petrol.
You can always have a good sized fire.
Yeah, he's learnt the hard way, but I think he got away pretty unscathed. He got out quick enough. I wouldn't want to be there when that jerry can fully goes up, but leave it to the professionals, guys. Yeah, don't play with fire.
Hair and everything. Fuck.
This one, I go back on what I said before. This is a fuck up that is actually you. So
This
tell
is
us
my
about this
fuck
one.
up. So this was 2015, my first smoker, $100 smoker from Bunnings. We were camping. The wife was up there getting dinner ready. I was down fishing by the lake there. The boys were down there with me, having a few beers there. The wife's gone back up to check the smoker. She's gone up there. She didn't see that there was any smoke coming out of it. So she's gone, oh, I better do something. She has gathered a whole heap of eucalyptus leaves and decided to throw it on the charcoal. So once they've gone up, I'm sitting down by the water. I've looked around and went, where the fuck is that smoke coming from? Next minute, I've wandered back up to the campsite. Here's my smoker. That night there, we had some beautiful pork spare ribs that had been marinated in eucalyptus leaves.
Amazing.
The worst fucking thing I've ever eaten. So I suppose that's not my fuck up, but I'd say my fuck up was let my wife watch the smoker. So you learn from your mistakes.
It's all good. I've always had a saying where anyone can make barbecue taste like a bushfire. It's about getting that beautiful combination of smoke and flavour. But yeah, you've learnt the hard way here.
We learnt the hard way, brother. We learnt the hard way. Yep.
Okay, let's move on. Here's another one. This is putrid.
Shit. This reminds me of the toilets at Meatstock. I would hate to be the cleaner, and this is what this reminds me of.
Haven't had much experience in the toilets at Meatstock myself, but I imagine at the end of any sort of carnivore festival, they wouldn't be pretty.
No, as you can see, it was a taco fountain. A wrong choice of meat, mate. Wrong choice.
I don't think any meat's going to be the right choice. On that note, dishes of the week. Tell us about this.
Well, I'm in love with this here, straight up. You've got tacos, you've got pizza, and you've got barbecue all in one. I am a monster fan.
Yeah, that's a combination of everything we love here. Mexican, seafood, especially for me, and pizza. You and I both fiend for pizza.
I am a pizza fiend, yes.
We're going to have to convince the guys that's where we're going for dinner tonight.
Sounds good to me.
Or we could do this.
Yes, well, so this here is from Shani, New Zealand Barbecue Chick on Instagram, as you're aware. So she does a lot of barbecue fusion. This here, I think one of these dishes was 2018, 2019. Absolutely amazing dish. It caught my eye and turned me into a little bit more barbecue fusion style. I'd love to sit there and taste one of them meals one night. It'd be absolutely delicious.
Yeah, Shani actually really takes an amazing photo of her food too. She takes a lot of care in the presentation, and we know her personally. She's an awesome chick, and she'll give anyone a run for their money. I've been known to call her the queen of leftovers.
But I like that, the queen of leftovers.
She kicks ass, bro.
She does kick ass. So she's actually featuring at the Fire Kitchen in New Zealand at Meatstock. So next year in Hamilton.
Amazing.
Get there and try her food as well.
And that's only if you hold the VIP ticket, right?
Correct.
Still some available, but not for long.
Not for long.
Perfect Christmas present too. Meatstock tickets.
Yep.
Better than socks and undies.
Correct.
What's going on here?
I was in Texas not long ago there. We had Texas Open Fire meet up there. One of the chefs there, he was on a TV show. I don't quite remember what the TV show was that he was on there.
Next Level Chef Season 3.
Next Level Chef Season 3 with Gordon Ramsay. This was a dish at 11 o'clock at night. There's a smash burger, peanut butter. I don't know if I was a little bit intoxicated, but it was a fucking good burger. I could not fault it whatsoever.
Yeah, intoxication wouldn't need to be a factor for this thing to be banging, but Von the Chef.
Von the Chef on Instagram. He's a mad chef, yeah.
Yeah, and that looks pretty good. Is there jam on that too, peanut butter jelly, or just... You can't remember, can you?
I don't remember, sorry, yeah.
You must have had jet lag.
I had jet lag, yes.
As far as the under-seasoned audience goes, this is what you're probably best known for. The world's biggest smoker.
I did used to smoke a lot, but these days I've cut down on the packets and started taking up meat. So, yeah, world's biggest smoker, as you're aware, Frank the fucking Tank. Here he is here in all its glory. You know, for me, it was an opportunity to sit there and build something different. I suppose no one had done it. I thought, fuck it, let's do it. Since I've built it, I've copped a fair bit of criticism. A lot of people believe it didn't work, it wouldn't work. It's too big. What the fuck are you going to use that for? Yeah, we do meat stocks. I think so far we've done about 11,000 kilos of meat through it in less than 12 months, which is probably a lot more meat than a lot of the fucking critics are going to sit there and talk about. So, you know, it's a monster. It weighs 6.5 tons, 7.2 meters long. We've built a monster live fire table on the end of it because I was like, what are we going to do with this space? And we thought, fuck it, let's just build a live fire table. Something a bit cool. You know, the firebox is 100 mil thick of insulation, so it keeps that temp rolling. It keeps going. As I said, we do a lot of meat stocks, so as you can see, it gets carted around on a truck and a crane. Yeah, it's not cheap, but it's worth it just to be able to sit there and see that wow factor. My biggest thing of building it is because I want to prove everybody wrong. People turn around and said to me, why'd you build something that big? And I'm like, why not?
Exactly, mate. That's the best answer for the critics. And we've seen this thing in action. And also, too, for context, there's some pretty large humans loading up that rack too. Like, these are big boys and it's dwarfing them.
They are big boys, yes.
So we're loading up the pork belly bites there. We've got the hanging pineapples. What's in there? That's a crock?
That's a crock, mate. We use a lot of it just as a live fire table, just to be able to see a lot of stuff off as well. So we thought it was going to be an empty space as a cabinet, as a holding cabinet. And I just went, why do a cabinet when we can do something for show everywhere we go? So we did. And it has worked. It really has worked. I do believe that there might be another one bigger than it in the world, but I couldn't give two fucks, to be honest. We're in Australia. It is what it is. So I'll sit there and say it myself. The world's biggest smoker that gets used.
That's it. And being reverse flow, it has to be because we cook everything upside down here being down under. So
correct.
That's the only option you had.
Yep. That's it. Put it on its head.
Okay, so you've gotten yourself around the place a fair bit as of late.
Yeah, bro.
BBQ Travel.
BBQ Travel, yeah.
Tell us what you've been up to, mate.
We've jumped on the Meatstock wagon and, it's now taken us to Meatstock Brazil as the first place we've been to. I was invited to go cook over there at Meatstock at the VIP area for Jack Daniels and Daniel Lee's festival. And what we've done, we cooked up a lamb palais. And I think I said that correct, lamb palais. Yeah, so we've done that dish there to serve to a couple of thousand people. These are the after parties. So, the best thing about these festivals is we get to know each other on a personal level after these festivals are finished, So these after parties, as you can see, they do get a bit loose. They do get a little bit wild, a lot of fun. We burnt a few pellets on this one here. I think the fire brigade were called in this one here and to try to shut it down. Lucky we've got Flavio there. Flavio owned the property there and we were able to sit there and keep partying through the night.
Well, that's when the relationships are forged, aren't they? You know, everyone's there with their work hat on, and then you let loose a bit.
You let loose, brother. That's it. You know, we're able to sit there and enjoy the night then, and I suppose recap on what we've done. So, you know, Saracova in Brazil there, it's a wild place. I think the favelas were right behind us there. You know, it was just an unreal experience, you know, but to have the opportunity to be able to travel around the world and cook, you know, and show, I suppose, what my take on barbecue is and what I do. Fuck, I'll never look back. I love it, mate.
So good, man.
Yeah.
And then you just jumped straight on another plane and ended up
in London, yes, at the Royal Ascot, cooking up some more lamb over there to show the guys. So this is us in the Royal Ascot here. We've been able to sit there and show them our take on the Australian lamb. We were able to use Australian lamb over there, which is pretty fucking cool. But I was able to sit there and showcase who we are, what we do, Australian barbecue scene. You know, we were able to sit there and meet a lot of new people. Sam and Shauna are now coming to Meatstock Fire Kitchen as well. Yeah, we had Butcher Lawsy take out World Butcher Champion, which was amazing. We had Shannon Walker there running the stage. It was just so many cool people on a different level in a different country that, you know, barbecue in London is a lot different than barbecue in Australia. Barbecue around the world is so different, but I do believe us Aussies.
And while you're talking about special guests, mate, you probably got the most special guest there is there accompanying you to this one.
Yeah, that plate and that lamb look pretty amazing. No, my wife was there with me on this one here. We had to take the wife with us. So, yeah, she doesn't do a lot of barbecuing with me, but she likes to come on the journey if she can.
You're pretty safe, mate. Not much eucalyptus over in Ascot in London.
Correct. So we were fine there. We were fine.
Plenty of other smoking grass there, though. So
yes. Yes.
So then you got home, had a bit of a rest and ended up...
Yes, so I've only just got back from Texas Open Fire Meetup from El Fragone's festival. I was invited to cook over there with one of our good friends, Mel from Dark Side of the Grill. We went over there. We were able to cook with 150 pitmasters and celebrities from around the world. I think total following of 50 million people on social media. So it was more of a gathering to get there. We raised money for first responders. All proceeds went straight to the first responders. It was just a monster party. Yeah, we were able to sit there and cook alligators. You've seen whole steers were brought in. We cooked rattlesnake. I ate black bear, a baby black bear. Like, you know, one thing in the world I would never have thought of was eating black bear. But fuck, it tastes like...
Not to be confused with black bear barbecue.
Not to be confused with black bears. Okay, so yeah, I ate baby black bear, you know. We cooked up iguanas. I didn't sit there and think myself I'd be sitting there skinning an iguana, an exotic animal. But it happens. You're overseas, you're in Texas, like anything's go over there. So we killed it. So we had a lot of fun. Took out third place, People's Choice, so which was pretty amazing, yeah.
And what part of the iguana do you eat? Do you just peel that whole thing off and just pick off the gizzards, or...?
The iguana doesn't have a lot of meat on it, obviously, being a lizard, but the best part of the meat there is the top of the tail. That's the meatiest part there. As you get down the bottom, it's too bony there, and there isn't enough meat on the actual... Am I a fan of it? No. Fuck no, but... You have to try it, don't you? You're there, you've got to try it, you know. But yeah, so it was a lot of firsts over there in Texas for me.
Good times, yeah. I don't look at an iguana or, you know, a water dragon or anything like that and say, you know what, I'd love to try that. But anyway, you did? Fuck,
we did, yeah. No, so like I said, we'll go back next year and we'll be taking an Australian team with me next year. It's going to be pretty sick, yeah, to be able to take a heap of guys over with me, yeah.
Applications opening soon.
So, yes.
If that wasn't enough, jumped on the road, mate, and did a bit of what we would consider a barbecue bucket list.
Before we actually went to the Texas Open Fire Meetup, we were able to go on a bit of a tour, Mel and myself. We went on pretty much just a barbecue tour, and we went and had a lot of fun. You know, we shot 50 cal Desert Eagle handguns. Yeah. We almost got jumped by a couple of gangbangers in the big 30s. You know, it was something pretty cool. I suppose it was a trip of a lifetime for me, where I was able to sit there, experience barbecue, everything's fucking bigger in Texas, as they say, and to be able to see it, it was like, fuck, what am I doing here? Like, I'm finally here to be able to do this. So we went and we toured 11 smokehouses. We hit up Franklin's. We done the whole Franklin list, where we sat there and we walked for 5 hours. We sat there for 5 hours. We hit up Cruise Barbecue, They run traditional pits, so the brick pits over there. Apparently these pits have been going for almost 100 years, you know. I sit there and I walk into places like this and I just go, fuck, council would have my balls in their hands right now. I would not be able to do this. But they're able to do it, and this is what brings the authenticity, you know. And cool thing over there was so many different places had their own style. There was some good barbecue and there was some fucking shit barbecue too. But at the end of the day, barbecue's barbecue, you know. It's a love job, I suppose. But Salt Lick Barbecue was probably a very big highlight for me. I've sat there and I've followed that pit since the start. Yeah, to be able to be there in person, it was pretty cool.
And so this is sort of the origin too, you know, that's why they're called pits, because they literally were pits and now
correct.
The big iron smokers you see are mobile pits, so that's why they still retain that name.
Yep. So it was really cool to see the backstory on how a lot of different restaurants, you know, we were able to go through the back ends and actually see the process of barbecue. Ernest Cervantes from Burnt Bean Co., his pit rooms. This one here was Pinkerton Barbecue. You know, they run 4 pits as well. I went to Terry Black's Barbecue. Terry Black's the biggest pit room in the world. 10 1,000-gallon pits.
Jesus.
They run them 7 days a week. They had 48 big electric holding units sitting there that they've just got stocked. I was blown away. Like, who the fuck eats so much barbecue? Like, you know, I cook the shit. I can't eat it. But it was just so cool to be there and be amongst it. You know, if you are a barbecuer and you do this for a living, you need to go there. You can't not go there, you know. Just everything about Texas was the bomb, yeah.
Well, you're going to work extra hard in this room too, because there's no counterweights on them doors, so that's going to be some heavy lifting for some poor bugger.
Oh, yeah, you want to have big arms. Like I said, more, but this is Franklin's barbecue. You know, the ribs, I said before, you know, the ribs are amazing. His sausages were spot on. Brisket cooked perfect. I could not fault it.
Oh, it looks good, mate. And Franklin's is just one of those ones where if you're in the area, you have to do it. You know, you have to jump in that line.
Yeah,
you have to try and be like Adriano and get your sticker as close to the front door as you can.
We done all that stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, Franklin's is one of them. It's the top of your list, you know, and it lived up to that hype. It lived up to that expectation. Terry Black's, I was a little bit let down with in regards to their food. You know, it just wasn't on par for me. That's a personal thing. Salt Lick Barbecue, coolest place ever. That's the beauty of traveling and eating. And, you know, I'm not a food critic, but I fucking eat food. I'm a fat boy, so, you know, you got to. So,
I love it.
Love it, but yeah. So if you get a chance, you need to get there, you know. Everyone does, so.
Yeah, mate, for sure. I mean, my mouth's watering just looking at these pictures, and I mean, I haven't travelled myself to the States. I've done a lot of travelling through the eyes of other people, and these sort of things, they inspire me and excite me, and I can only imagine the fun you two guys had, because I've had the pleasure of being in both your company many times. And
we went on that ultimate trip, you know. We partied like rock stars and ate like kings, you know. It's what you got to do in Texas, I suppose. So to be able to do it there with a good mate of mine, you know, and meet a whole heap of new friends over there, fuck, it's all amazing. Yeah, love it.
Amazing. And on that topic of a good mate of yours, we've got a bit of a shout-out going on.
Pitmaster Shoutouts, yes. So the first one up I've got is Bill Dumas. So a lot of these guys probably know Bill Dumas, heard of Bill Dumas. Sausage Sensei, absolutely amazing, you know. Fuck, I would never sit there and think of putting another man's sausage in my mouth, but Bill has an exception. You know, that sausage was banging that we had there. He comes up with a lot of different crazy ideas. You're like, how could that work? A catfish tartare and a brisket sausage and a brisket boudin sausage. It was like, what the fuck was that, you know? This one here we've got on the screens, a Costa Rican coffee and cocoa sausage that was served up as a dessert. And I'm like, who the fuck puts whipped cream on a sausage? Like, you know, I suppose I do when I want to have a bit of fun there, and it's the end of the sausage, a bit of whipped cream. But it was pretty fucking banging, to be honest. But I take my hat off to Bill. He travels the world. He teaches cooking or sausage classes all over the world. He's amazing at what he does, and he's got that out there character. It's just wow, you know, and he's a hard worker. We've actually got Bill coming to Live Fire Kitchen as well.
Amazing.
So it's going to be absolutely banging, yeah.
I'm just disappointed we don't have the video where you and Mel were eating one of Bill's sausages and he was going into detail about what was included. And then you say, so what you're trying to tell me is this is a Bunnings snack? And he went, no, that is not what I'm trying to tell you.
Sorry
so he takes
about that,
it
Bill.
very seriously.
He does take it very, very serious. And I am sorry about that, Bill, but it was a beautiful Bunnings snack. Yes.
It's all right. He's going to cop it all when he comes over here. The fancy Bunnings sausage sensei. But we love you, Bill. We can't wait to see you, mate.
We can't wait to see you, brother. Yep.
We got a bit of barbecue royalty coming up right now.
Barbecue royalty, yeah. So Tuffy Stone, as everyone knows, Tuffy Stone. You know, for me, when I started my barbecue journey in 2014, which made me want to get a smoker, 2015, you know, started it. I sat there and I watched the TV shows, you know, and to sit there and see Tuffy Stone and people like Big Mo Case and Aaron Franklin on there, and to be able to meet Tuffy in person, for me, the first time it was gobsmacked, you know. I was that little fanboy, like, oh, fuck, Tuffy Stone, I need a photo, you know. Now it's just like, we see each other and it's like, hey, Luke, you know, and it's, but Tuffy is someone that I've always looked up to in the industry. Tuffy is someone that, for me, he's done it all, you know what I mean? And his head's not big. Is how I would put it. He has the time for anybody. He will sit there and he will mentor anyone. I sat with Tuffy Stone in a bar in South Brazil, Parador Hample, and we sat there, chickens on the side of a pool table, and we were having a few drinks there at whatever time in the morning, and we were able to sit there and tie these chickens up to how we're going to sit there and do our meal the next day. It was like, he is just a down-to-earth guy, and he has time for anyone and everyone. To see him over in Texas again there the other week there, and people coming up to me and going, you know, Tuffy Stone, can you please, I want a photo. He is still the barbecue scientist. He's the man, you know, and I take my hat off to everything he's done there. And like I said, I owe everything I have for Tuffy. You know, like I said, he's made me the person I am by watching his videos and doing everything, you know, and I love it. So, yeah, Tuffy Stone, thank you very much, brother.
Yeah, you're definitely right. He is one of the biggest hearts in barbecue. He's a very easy guy to get to know if you ever get the chance. He's got time, doesn't gatekeep his knowledge. I mean, I'm sure he still keeps a lot of secrets, but he's got a culinary background, but then he's done more than just what you see. You know, he's been on the TV shows, but He's done the restaurants. He's got the rubs. He's got the sauces dialed.
Yep.
He does the classes, and he's probably the first guy to tell you that he doesn't know everything because he wants to keep learning and keep getting better and keep elevating.
And he's happy to bring people along there and help them with their journey as well, you know, and I got a lot of respect for people like that. So
yeah, that's it. You're an absolute champion, Tuffy.
You are, brother. Thank you.
Okay, this is a bit of a different one. Barbecue tattoos. You got a couple?
I do have a few barbecue tattoos, yes. For my love of food, I've got to. So the good old Weber forever. So as everyone knows me as Luke Moonshine, I was actually born Luke Weber.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that there. My love for Weber, I am a Weber fanatic. I collect Webers. Don't use them, but I collect them just because I fucking love them. I love tattoos and I love tacos as well. So we had to have the taco gangster. Why not? You know, tacos are the life. So I do like to collect little tattoos from different artists from around the world and different people, you know, who I've got a connection with, I suppose. So, yeah, so we do have, I think I've got a whole leg that's dedicated to barbecue tattoos and food-related tattoos. So, as you can see, we've got crazy pizza and low and slow offset, you know. Boss Hog represents, so Boss Hog smokers, you know. I love them guys. They build all of my smokers for me. We work a lot together with all of our fire gear. I had to sit there and get a Boss Hog smoker, sit there and tattoo it on me. And for the love of pizza, why not? Yeah.
Well, that's it. It definitely helps when you've got a relationship with your tattoo artist too, and you can help build your journey with, I mean, they're just passport stamps for the body at the end of the day.
Yeah, they are. That 100%, brother. So we've still got room for more anyway. Any tattoo artists out there want to tattoo me? Let's go.
Let's do it. Just send Luke a DM.
Send me a DM.
Righto, we're going to gaze into our crystal ball now. We're going to talk about what you think the future of barbecue, especially here in Australia, might entail.
So future barbecue for me, for Phat Boyz, I suppose I'll start off with, you know, we have gradually grown because I do believe, you know, to grow gradually is the key to success. You don't want to pop up overnight because you pop up overnight and you'll be gone the following day before you know it. So, you know, the key to success is to work, repetition. So over the last few years, we've been able to do that, create something pretty cool, create a pretty cool brand and pump out some barbecue, which is what I love doing. I've stepped back from the pits, I should say, a little bit to focus on barbecue with Phat Boyz there and what we've got lined up. You know, we've got a 900-seat restaurant opening up next year. You know, we've got Meatstocks. For myself, I've got a lot of traveling, you know, and myself, I also want to work with other barbecuers to bring barbecue together in Australia. I do believe that we have to work together in Australia with barbecue. We are still minority. We're still very small in Australia. It's still new. It's still fresh. There's still barbecue shops popping up everywhere. You know, we've got 12 million people and there's 37 smokehouses in Australia. Like, it's fucking unreal. You know, you go to Texas there and you've got 37 smokehouses in one street. You know, it's like, what the fuck, you know? But at the end of the day, I do believe we need to grow barbecue together. You know, we need to start working working, when you start collaborating. I do believe that Low and Slow is on its way out in Australia, being a quick thing, and it's gone. And I do believe live fire is the next stage. You know, and live fire has taken over the world by storm. You know, I think it's the visual effects. I think it's the cooking of the food, the smelling it, being able to stand around with your friends and enjoy that there, as in where Low and Slow has gradually become a pub food, as what I put it now. Every fucking pub in Australia does brisket, you know what I mean? Don't mean they do brisket good, you shit, really, but you know what I mean? They still do it, you know, but at the end of the day, we've got to sit there and help grow it, you know, and if these pubs are cooking brisket, it might be fucking shit, but at the end of the day, it's still letting people know that's brisket. Well, that was terrible. Well, let's go somewhere now that's going to be good, you know what I mean? Like I said, live fire is where it's at for me with barbecue, and I do believe that's where it's at in Australia. And as you'll see with Meatstocks, it's getting bigger and bigger, the live fire section. A lot of people are gradually moving it. Heat beads, fire, or meat wagon, or whatever they want to call it. It is growing. It's become a huge thing, you know what I mean? The live fire setups that we do, they're crazy, you know? And then next year you'll see more and more people bringing it on, and I do believe that's the future of barbecue.
For me, if I went to a big smokehouse and I saw them cooking on a giant, 1,000-gallon smoker, then I'd be like, oh yeah, that's cool, I'll come here for that. But if I see someone doing some live fire and the simplicity of it, then I'm then inspired to be like, hey, maybe I could muck around and do that at home. Yeah. Then that ignites, a little bit of a flame in your life of you wanting to do better. And then that is your infectious collaborative spirit has then rubbed off on someone. Yep. And building the community. Once again, like the more eyes we can get on barbecue and live fire cooking and that sort of thing, because we're up against a lot of elements here in Australia. Low and Slow's on the way out, because why would you take 14 hours to cook something that you can do in 8? Because then your fuel costs are down, your labour costs are down. Like the cost of living is crushing a lot of people at the moment. But we're up against a lot of factors here. I mean, everyone's a keyboard warrior if they have a bad experience. No one really gets on there and says how fucking good things were. I mean, there is a minority of people that do it, but if you have a good time, tell 10 friends, and then they'll tell 10 friends.
So we find in the restaurant industry, you sit there and you eat it. You're not going to hop on there and go, oh, wow, it's amazing food, I'm going to leave a Google review. No, it's always the assholes that sit there and leave the review, you know what I mean? But they'll never sit there and say anything to your staff while they're there. They always wait till they get home, And I do believe that there hurts a lot of businesses in Australia, and they, and these guys want to help build barbecue, but they also want to shut it down as quick as fucking look at it. So, at the end of the day, we'll see what next year brings, but I do believe live fire is the new barbecue in Australia.
Fuck yeah. Okay, so live fire, the future of Australian barbecue. Now on to our next one, dish of the week. There is no fire used at all to compile this dish. Talk us through it, mate.
I jumped on Instagram the other day and I come across one of my friends that have just won the world championship, and he'd done Oreo chimichurri biscuits. And
what did you win the world championship in?
Dessert, I think it was.
So the World Food Championship.
World Food Championship, sorry. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, so he done this. And I went, wow, I need to do this. So Dave from Fat Kid Snacks said his kids love this stuff. They eat it all the time. I decided to do the Aussie version with gringo and some Oreos and chimichurri.
So we've got a chimichurri Oreo. Talk us through what you did.
Yeah, so what we've done is we've smoked some lemons. We've thrown them on the Traeger. We've smoked them there for about half an hour to get a nice little bit of smoke over it. And then we've mixed that. We've crusted the Oreo, we've taken the cream out, mixed some red wine vinegar, some olive oil and some gringo in with a little pinch of smoked lemonade, or smoked lemons I should say. Mix it together, form it back through and roll it back through the chimichurri.
Now, I have not tried these. I watched you make them. I mean, that's my beautiful videoing skills there of watching it all compile. And I will say, mate, I'm intrigued because when you mentioned you were going to do it, I thought, oh, maybe he's going to deep fry them, put a bit of, chimichurri on at the end, which it could be something you could look into, mate, if these go all right. But
I'm keen to sit there and eat them as well. But, yeah, it was just a very cool snack that I seen. Popped up on Instagram there. And thank you, Dave, for these. So let's try them. Cheers, brother. Yep.
Bro, that works, eh?
That does work.
Give that man another trophy.
Give him one. Come on.
No, they're good, mate. That's a good mix of. I do love the old sweet and savoury combinations. And, yeah, when I saw you doing it, I was like, I don't know about this, but that's a winner.
I like it. That's fucking good.
It is good. I'm going again, mate.
Fat Kid Snacks on Instagram. Look him up there and give him a shout out. Beautiful stuff there. Chimichurri. BRZ food, away we go. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Righto, the Encore.
Right.
This is the end. What we're going to do, we're going to come up with a photo that we might not have seen before with no context, and we're just going to
I'm keen.
talk about it.
What do we got?
We're going to throw you right under the bus here, mate. What the fuck's going on here?
Oh, you can never keep a fat boy away from his fucking food or his tacos. Yeah, well, I don't even know what to say about this. By the looks of this here, we're in Brazil. Lucky friends by the looks of it. That night was a very big night. 6 bottles of Grey Goose later and a couple of tacos in the pocket for Ron.
Mate, you've taken takeaway too far.
I have taken takeaway too far. I have not seen these photos. I don't even remember the night. I was very jet lagged that night. It was nothing to do with the 6 bottles of vodka, but
It's the real killer. Jet lag is the real killer.
Well, I'm still fucking blown away.
It's actually still really well formed, though. That's what impressed me. When I first saw it, I was like, has he just like put that there while they're cooking a video? But then when you zoom out and see that it's perfectly just sitting outside of your pocket for later, you've handled that well, mate.
Yeah, I could tell I had a few beverages by the looks of that photo, but yeah, I do not know who took that photo or where it come from. So thank you very much. My family's going to love it.
Rock and roll. That's it. Under Seasoned.
Yeah.
Special edition volume 2. It's been fucking good talking, bro. Always
Thank you very
a pleasure.
much, brother. Thank you very much.
And can't wait to see what you bring to the Fire Kitchen, Meatstock Season 2025. It's going to be fucking
we can't wait.
rad.
It's going to be lit. We cannot wait. So yeah, you'll see us there, everybody, and see what we've got coming.
See you next
Peace.
Tuesday.